When I endorsed him, he was gone. He was not going to be able to even be a factor in the race. And as soon as I endorsed him, within moments, the race was over. I got him the nomination. He didn't get it, I got it, because the minute I made that endorsement, he got it.
Robert Reich, a former U.S. Secretary of Labor and leftist political commentator, says that the current iteration of the United States is a breeding ground for narcissistic personalities. I'm Yasmin Khan with the breakdown, and before we get into anything, I will say that we should understand that when people refer to narcissists, there's the colloquial use of the word and the clinical. They both basically mean the same thing, but one is a diagnosable personality disorder and the other is more of a social commentary. Colloquially, narcissists are people who are self-obsessed, to the point that they don't really care about the people around them beyond how those people can serve their own interests. They have inflated egos and they have a sense of grandeur about them, but they also grapple with deep feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. They're the main characters and the rest of us are just here to support them. When people call other people narcissists in regular conversations, they're not issuing diagnoses. Now, clinically, a person with narcissistic personality disorder will display all of the aforementioned traits, and they can inflict a lot of psychological and emotional trauma on the people close to them, whether that's their children or other family members, their significant others, or their close friends. To be diagnosed with the disorder, someone would have to be assessed by a psych professional, and they'd have to meet a specific set of criteria. But people with this disorder are typically characterized by a lack of empathy, a willingness to manipulate the emotions of those close to them for their own personal gain, and the need for an endless supply of attention, usually from one particular source, whether negative or positive. Any attention is perceived as adoration, but despite their efforts to portray themselves as confident, superior, and unbothered, they typically are desperate for the approval of others and, as previously mentioned, deeply, deeply insecure. Now, today's social media obsessed culture is a breeding ground for narcissism, at least in the colloquial sense. Our social profiles focus on ourselves and our lives and the things that matter to us. We keep track of metrics like how many people are looking at us and how many people like what they see and how we can get more people to look at us and more people to like us. Now, between follower counts and likes and shares, we can literally put a number on our social value, however vapid of a metric that might be. And yeah, some people earn their livings on social media, so it would make sense for them to track their business-related metrics. But most people on social media aren't trying to be professional influencers. So in an election day piece in The Guardian, Robert Reich looked at two public figures who he refers to as, quote, wildly disruptive narcissists, Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
He does good at rockets, too, by the way. I never saw where the engines come down with no wings, no anything, and they're landing. I said, I've never seen that before. And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius. You know, we have to protect Thomas Edison, and we have to protect all of these people that came up with originally the light bulb and the wheel.
Reich states in the piece, quote, both wield sledgehammers to protect their fragile egos. Both are utterly lacking in empathy. Both push baseless conspiracy theories, such as the one cooked up about Paul Pelosi. Both are indefatigable self-promoters. Both are billionaires, but they are not motivated primarily by money, nor are they fueled by any larger purpose, principle, or ideology. Their singular goal is to imprint their giant egos on everyone else, to exercise raw power over people, to make others grovel. While neither of the men were on a ballot yesterday, both seem determined to insert themselves into the electoral process in one way or another. Their beliefs in their own importance, their own relevance, their own genius, and the value of their own opinions justifies their forced involvement in a process that technically doesn't involve them. The money is the problem. The money grants access and influence, sure, but the money feeds the ego. The money can solve problems so effectively that things that would be very real hindrances and roadblocks for most of us are seen as negligible risks to the super wealthy. The money can literally buy cultural and political relevance, and we've seen that happen in our elections. According to the nonpartisan group Open Secrets, which tracks money in politics, super PAC donations to state and federal races from primarily Republican megadonors have hit a new high, hitting nearly $17 billion for the 2021-2022 election cycle. This figure breaks the previous midterm record from 2018, which was just $14 billion. The total spent on federal races is expected to hit $8.9 billion once the final totals are calculated, of which 15.4% came from billionaires. 38% of the money donated came from the top 1% of earners. Furthermore, according to the New Republic, American billionaires spent $881 million mostly on Republican races and causes in 2022 alone, and this is 44% higher than billionaires spending in 2018, making yesterday's election the most expensive midterms in our nation's history. Meanwhile, Republicans have made a villain of George Soros, and I've got every Dem candidate across America in my inbox asking me to spare a few dollars. And I don't know how many dollars they think I have, but it's not that many. How can everyday citizens be expected to compete with the likes of Citizens United? We've all been told that money can't buy happiness, but we do know that it can buy influence and power. It can fund fear and doubt, and it can make a world of difference in terms of how people live their lives. Neither Elon Musk nor Donald Trump can relate to the lives you or I lead, and the reverse is also true. We live in different worlds, simply put, and it's an injustice that their world is able to control ours. All right, that is it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like this video and subscribe to the channel because I actually am one of those people that needs to track certain metrics. And be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I know, I get the irony, I can hear myself. Thank you.